was finally approved. I did all of the medical tests, everything, and I took my first dose of MS medication today. Now, it's not like gonna be some miracle drug where, oh my gosh, I could just walk this afternoon or something, But I'm so excited. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get anything until like January or February. But I got it. Now it takes about 30 days for the medication to like really get into your system. But I started it. So I was so excited. And I always share all my MS stuff with you. So I wanted to let you know it's happening. Yay! Okay, enough of that. Let's get into the shows that I have been watching. Now I have my notes over here, but for some reason it's being weird, so hopefully it doesn't fall off of this little thing. Let's hope. But anyway, I think everything that I watched was good. There was something that pissed me off, and I will let you know about it when we get there. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is a show on Netflix. Yeah, that's something. Oh, almost everything that I've watched has been Netflix this month. There's one Apple TV thing, but everything else is Netflix. Okay, so the first thing that I watched was on Netflix, and it is called House of Guinness. Okay, Rotten Tomato score gave it an 88. Audience score gave it a 65. Now, those are the scores as of this recording. They could go up, they could go down. I would like for these scores to go up, okay? On, like, everything. The scores are so weird this month. I don't know what's going on. But House of Guinness, oh my god. Okay, so it stars Anthony Boyle, which, as soon as I saw him, I was like, I know him. And he's the guy who was in the show. It was a show about Abraham Lincoln. He was the guy who shot Abraham Lincoln. I think it was like on AMC Plus or something like that. But he was super familiar. Anyway, so Anthony Boyle, Louis Partridge, Emily Fairn. There's so many people in this show, okay? Now, the reason that I wanted to watch it was because it is a historical fiction. It's historical fiction, but it's based off of a real family, the Guinness family. So Ashley Laurie Metcalf. Is that how you say her name? Metcalf. I'm telling you, she's gonna get whatever award that you get for acting on like a show. She's gonna get it. She did fantastic. I do not recommend this season of this show. I hated it. I hated it for so many reasons. The number one reason was it's all crap. It's all bull, okay? If you've seen season 1 and season 2 of Monster, they stick to the main storyline where it's dramatized a little here and a little there. This complete bullshit, okay? Complete. It made me so mad because people who don't know stuff about true crime and they use these shows to like bring the stories to life or like learn and stuff like that, they're gonna think that this stuff really happened. And it did not. If you know anything about true crime and you know about Ed Gein, you are probably enraged by watching this as well. Charlie Hunnam, he did a good job. Like when I watched him, like when you look at him, all you ever see is Jax, right? From Sons of Anarchy. He will forever be Jax. He's great as Jax. So you were like, whoa, this is gonna be great, you know? When you looked at him, all you saw was Ed Gein. You did not see Jax, which was great. I did not understand the voice. Who made the decision to have that voice? What was the voice about? Okay, because Ed Gein did not sound like that. And the way that he was portrayed in the show almost made it seem like Ed Gein was mentally disabled or something, and Ed Gein was not mentally disabled. If you want to know about Ed Gein and the real story, I recommend you watch Psycho, The Lost Tapes of Ed Gein, and that is on MGM Plus. It's a 4-episode documentary that's factual, that's not highly fictionalized, and you'll hear Ed Gein's real voice. Go watch that. Do not watch Monster. Like, I was so angry that, like, I had to go watch season 2 just to get the taste of this one out of my mouth. Like, ugh. And, like, I kind of got into an argument with my mom because I was like, you shouldn't watch this. Don't. It's terrible. And she's like, well, what do you mean it's a documentary? And I'm like, it is not a documentary, lady. She thought that Monster season 1 and season 2 were documentaries, and I'm like, documentaries don't have actors in them. They might have reenactments, but they have actual like historians and like stuff like that, you know. And I'm like, this proves my point, because if she didn't know things about Ed Gein, because she really didn't or whatever, she would have believed everything in this show. And I was like, it's not a documentary. It was like a docu-series, but not this season. This season is awful lies. And it's like, it's Ed Gein. If you know his story, you don't need to dramatize or fictionalize anything. His story is crazy enough, right? I don't know what this season was about. I feel like they were just doing things for the sake of doing things. And it aggravated me. So I don't recommend this at all. At all. That's the show that pissed me off. And I'm mad because the acting was so good, but the story was just crap. I don't know. Anyway, alright, so show is real weird, okay? But it's very mysterious and unpredictable, which I love. I love. So, it's about this town, Tall Pines or something like this. This couple who, I don't think they're married, I think they're like dating. And one of them, the girl or whatever, is pregnant. And they are moving to Tall Pines because the girl, I can't remember names, you know. I don't want to say girlfriend or wife or anything because it's like, I don't know what they are. But the woman, she's pregnant and she's moving back to Tall Pines because she kind of grew up in this town and she wants to raise their child in this town. Okay. But you find out that she was a wayward teen. You know, she was a troubled teen, and she was sent to this academy. It was called like Tall Pines Academy for wayward children. All right, and it's kind of like a rehabilitation school or something, which those places exist now, like crazy. If you've seen the show, you know what I mean by crazy. And I wish I could remember the characters' names, but the wife, she's basically, even though she's not the wife, is like stay at home, you know, whatever. And then the other one is a police officer or a deputy or something like that. And you slowly start to see things that are kind of off about this town. And one of the teens that was at Tall Pines, like, breaks out. And the police officer comes across this teen, and they're like, what the hell's going on? And they're like, this place is crazy, and like, help me, you know. And you start to see that this Tall Pines might not be the nice town that it appears to be. It kind of seems very cult-like. There's nothing crazy. There's no like trying to convert people and, you know, do crimes or whatever. I don't know what happens in cults, you know, but like cults are never good. But it's just off. It's just off, and things start to get really weird and freaky, and it's 100% unpredictable, which, you know, I love unpredictable. And yeah, the town has some very dark secrets, dark past of how it was created as a town and stuff, and that slowly starts to come out, you know. And the ending is like super intense, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened? And then I got confused, and then I'm like, I need season 2. I need season 2 because it just cuts you off, and I don't like that. I don't like that. There better be a season 2, and I don't know if there's gonna be a season 2 or not because the ratings 78-46. Like, please, somebody watch it and like give it. I know Netflix has a thing where you can do thumbs down, thumbs up, and then double thumbs up. Go give it the double thumbs up for me because I really want season 2 of the show. I gotta know what's happening, and I want to see more of this Mae Martin character. I love them. Okay, anyway, moving on. The next show that I watched was recommended to me by Yes, I can remember. Okay. So I'm just gonna read the description and then tell you what I thought about it. So it says an arson investigator, which is Taron Egerton, teams up with a police detective. I think that's Journey Smollett. I don't know. To try and stop two arsonists in their town. So I feel like this might actually be kind of a small town because there's only one arson investigator in the whole town, and he's having difficulty solving these arson crimes or whatever. So they're like, okay, well, let's bring in a police detective and you guys can work together because maybe you can think about the crime angle and then, you know. Anyway, so they think there are two arsonists in the town because there's two different styles, and maybe these arsonists are like working together because sometimes like this fire is set over here and this fire is set over here to separate the, I guess, fire departments or something. I don't know. Anyway, so it's basically just them trying to find out or catch these arsonists, right? Um, and there's one arsonist that's like real smart, and like he'll go into a grocery store and just clip something to a potato chip bag and then walk away, and then the whole store catches on fire, and it's like, what is that thing that he put in the potato chip bag? I don't know. And then the other arsonist is kind of like old school, where he will just put like gasoline or something in a milk jug and then light it and then walk away, that kind of thing. So they're thinking that it's two separate arsonists, and I don't even know how to describe the show. That's like the main point of the show, and that's kind of why I was like, this seems kind of boring. I don't really want to watch it. But then my friend recommended it, and I'm like, okay. And they recommended it because they said it is very unpredictable, and you know I like that. So yeah, this show is 100% unpredictable, and it it's about arson, but it's not about arson. It's about who's a photographer. Uh, I don't mean photographer. I was like taking pictures. He's a photographer. Is there to document it as well? And she's like, ugh, because she didn't want to be around him, you know. And there's a point where he's coming down the hallway and she tries to hide because she doesn't want to be near him. And she goes into this room. And in this room, cabin 10, she walks in on this lady coming out of the shower. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And the lady's just like, everything's fine. It's okay, you know. And then she goes, you know, on her way, whatever. And then later that night, she hears yelling and screaming coming from cabin 10. And she's like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? And she's out on her balcony. And then she hears something hit the water. She looks out, and it's like someone got thrown overboard. And so she is panicking, goes on full alert, tells everyone, oh my god, somebody's overboard, you know, there's like all these alerts going off and like whatever. It's a big deal because they're in the middle of the ocean, you know. And then they do a head count and they're like, bro, this did not happen. You're probably tired. It's been a long day. And she's like, are you kidding me? I saw the woman in cabin 10. And they're like, nobody's in cabin 10. That cabin's been empty this whole time. And she's like, what? And she's been under a lot of stress, right? So she's like, I didn't just make this up. Sorry, I had a cough. But she was like, I didn't just make this up, right? And then she's like, no. Because I saw her earlier in the day. She was coming out of the shower. And they were like, no, you didn't. And stuff starts to get weird. And she's like, what the hell is going on here? And being a journalist, she's like, I have to investigate, you know? And so it's just about her investigation. And did she see this person? Did she not see this person? And then it gets crazy. And it's like, whoa, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Now, after it was over, I asked Emma, I was like, did you like that? Sorry, I don't know why I'm so coffee today. But I asked Emma, I was like, did you like that? And she was like, yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. And I was like, yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was crazy. Now, would I watch it again knowing the end? No, because the end ruins the movie. But I didn't hate it. Not, what was it, 22 and 33 or something. I didn't hate it that much. I think it deserves a better score than that. Did the story make sense once you get to the end? Not really. Like, the main story is stupid once you get to the end. But experiencing the movie, it was good. I liked it. It was, well, I don't want to say it was unpredictable. At first it's unpredictable. And then you're like, wait a minute, what is going on? I liked that part of it. I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't the best. But it deserves more than a 20 whatever, you know? Like, I don't know. And I like Keira Knightley and Guy Pearce, so maybe that's why I liked it more than most people. I don't know. Okay, the next thing that I watched was on Netflix, and it's got no rating as well. Hold on. let me see, because I want to give you ratings, but this was a documentary, so I don't know if there's going to be a rating. Okay. Let's see. Whoa, what? Is this? Oh, it's got a rating now. I'm waiting for it to load. Stupid internet, because I want it to load. No, it doesn't. It was about something else. Sorry. That's my mom. Yeah, still no rating. No rating. There's no ratings. No ratings. Like, what the hell? Okay, anyway, shows are